Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So today I have the ultimate Viessa build, and for this build I have tested her on stage 1 of the Void Erosion Purge challenge mode, because that is technically the hardest content in the game for mobbing basically. And so I thought if we can clear that one with skills only, then this should work everywhere else quite easily. So Sigma sector 400%, that should be a piece of cake if we can clear the challenge mode stage 1. Now, stage 1 enemies are weak to chill, and also in the normal Void Erosion Purge, stage 30, the enemies are weak to chill, where you would be doing those missions over and over to get the cores. So I thought this would be a perfect way to test this. So the build is more or less identical to the usual absolute zero build for Viessa. I've only changed some of the components, Arche Tuning, Inversion, and things like that. So let's quickly have a look at the build. With absolute zero, her abilities all turn into chill and singular. Okay. And she has high crit. So we work with crit, we try to increase her crit damage and crit rate. And so we start with focus on chill and focus on singular. Then we take the two mods for crit rate and crit damage for front lines and emergency measures. We also have skill insight for more crit rate and skill concentration. So we have more crit damage. And then we use expansion for range increase. And we use two cooldown mods in nimble fingers and MP conversion. And finally, we have one HP mod as well. Now for the reactor, I'm going with crit damage and cooldown. Okay, previously I was using crit damage and singular skill power boost ratio. This would be the best in slot in terms of power. Okay, you can also use something like skill duration and cooldown. Now the idea behind this build and the low cooldown is to have her fourth ability up all the time, because that is the highest damage dealing ability and we want it to be up all the time. So if you look here, the cooldown is 6 seconds, down from 60 seconds, and the duration of the blizzard is 6 seconds as well. So basically 100% uptime. As soon as it's done, you can drop it again. And that way you'll be doing the most damage to enemies and clearing hordes much faster, especially in the challenge mode. So you can either do this or you can increase the duration if your cooldown isn't as low. So you can manage based on how you want to play. So if you have more ticks, if it goes for let's say 8 seconds, you'll have 2 more ticks of your fourth, and then if you have a duration of 8 seconds, that will also mean the cooldown. So yeah, so I tried to do this so that we have a fourth available all the time, because that is the one that does the most damage. Now for the components, I have 2 pieces of the Polar Knight and 2 pieces of the Hunter set. Hunter set gives you 4% cooldown reduction, and Polar Knight gives you 6% chill power. Okay, for the Inversion Reinforcement, I've gone with the standard Adrenaline Rush, and I have the selective neurostimulation so that we get more MP, so that we don't run out of MP because we'll be using our fourth so much. And I've also used neural focus augmentation to get more MP. Okay, now I use this build purely as a skill-based build. I think I shot the enemies a couple of times, but it was because I forgot or something. But most of it was with the skills, okay, because that is doing the most damage. However, you can also clear Void Erosion for challenge mode with guns as well. Like you can have some skill damage and use a gun. And the gun I would recommend is the Malevolent. You can mod it with some chill mods, so chill priority and chill enhancement, chill circulation, snowflake conductor. Now my Malevolent has a lot of toxic related stuff, toxic roll, toxic core. It comes with toxic by default. I did not want to mess with it, so that's why I went with a pure skill based build. Also, I did not have the mounting for the Malevolent on the reactor. You can see I have an assault rifle mounting, and I put a purple assault rifle, the Eternal Willpower, in my hand, just to have the mounting so that we get the maximum power. So you can do it with just skills, but if you wanted to make your life a little easier, you can mod it with chill element and use it as well. And if you are doing that, make sure to use this perk from the Inversion Reinforcement, which is the evolutionary cutting mechanism. So this way you'll get 2 more cogs. So have a hybrid build with skills and with guns, and that way it might be much easier to clear the challenge mode for you. Now, besides this, we have the Arche Tuning. Once again, we have tried to take all the MP, all the skills, and we took the MP recovery out of combat, and down here we took all the skills, took the range, and took the golden skill node here. And then going up, we take the MP, the purple one, cooldown, and we take the crit damage because we have 100% crit rate. We don't need the crit rate nodes. We just take the crit damage ones, and then we take the MP ones. So this way we have decent MP so that we can use our abilities frequently. We still have to pay attention to the MP drops and try to pick them up if we can. But you should be fine if you don't spam too much. Try to use the fourth more often and the third, and the other two you may want to save a little bit of MP. So what we have ended up is 11,000 health, 6,000 defense, which is a little on the lower side, 336 MP. Now, if 11,000 feels a little too low because the enemies hit hard, especially the bosses, they will one-shot you if you are too close. What you can do is you can draw focus on singular and put another HP. So you can put HP amplification. This will make you very, very tanky. You'll have 18,000, almost 19,000 health, which should make your life a lot easier. You will lose a little bit of cooldown on your fourth, but still not too bad, still manageable. You have 8.9 seconds on the cooldown and 6 seconds duration. So another less than 3 seconds, you'll have your fourth up again. Or you can use the cooldown duration mod. For example, if you use this mod here, this reactor, you will have 6.6 here, okay, and 8.9. What you can also do is you can maybe use Battle of Stamina. This way, you'll be somewhere in the middle. So you will have 7.2 seconds duration and 8.9 cooldown. So a less than 2-second difference here, 1.7 seconds. And what you'll also have is, it just slipped my mind. What was I going to show you? So we have 7.2, 8.9, and yeah, health. And your health will be 15,000. So somewhere in the middle. So not as low as 11,000, not as high as 19,000. You're somewhere in the middle, and this will be a reasonable compromise. So if you have enough of the precise ion accelerators and the dimension analyzers, you can farm for a reactor like this, enhance it, put the mounting for the hand cannon, and go with battle stamina, so you have more health, a little more duration, and you will have a reasonable compromise. Because I'm just low on dimension analyzers and resources, I decided to just go with the standard stuff here. This focus on singular will give you a little more damage, but we only have a 6-second duration, but our cooldown is also 6 seconds. So this was the best setup for me personally. So yeah, so this is what I did, and I cleared the challenge mode stage 1 in 9 minutes and 55. I don't know what great times people are using, because obviously stage 1 would be something people just clear to get to the next stage. I think stage 5 would be where everyone would be trying to set their times. I personally don't really care. I was only using it to test the build and see if the build can clear the Void Erosion Purge stage 1 challenge mode, then it'll clear everything else quite comfortably. 400% Sigma Sector bosses at the end of 400% and Sigma Sectors. She'll be very good with her fourth against those guys, because most of the other Descendants, their ultimates are not as strong. With her Blizzard, she can take out bosses quite comfortably. So that is Ultimate Viessa. Just making sure I haven't forgotten anything. Yeah, we've covered Reactor, we've covered external components, we have covered the build, Arche Tuning, Inversion Reinforcement. Yeah, basically, this is my ultimate Viessa setup, and I think this is a sort of all-round build that will work everywhere, and I'm happy with this. I'll leave you with the remaining footage of the Void Erosion Purge Stage 1 challenge mode. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time.